is it going today? This is Patrick from R-Wing Attack. Today is a very special video. It is actually going to be my first top 5 video on this channel. And this top 5 is going to be centered around the top 5 things Nintendo fans want the most out of E3 2017. Now, for those of you who don't know, earlier this week, Nintendo released their E3 schedule. And the first day, Nintendo is, of course, going over some 2017 games. So we'll probably be hearing more about ARMS, Splatoon 2, maybe some Xenoblade. And they also stated that they're going to be putting a bigger focus on Super Mario Odyssey, which is not too surprising because Super Mario Odyssey, of course, is going to be the big game coming out this holiday season. So we can pretty much assume that Super Mario Odyssey is going to be getting sort of the Breath of the Wild treatment, where a lot of the focus is going to be pushed onto Super Mario Odyssey. Later that day, we're going to have a Treehouse Live, which we did, of course, have that last year. And the Treehouse Lives are great because we get to see a lot more games in depth. We get to see some gameplay. So hopefully we can see a little bit more of Super Mario Odyssey. That would be incredible. And then the following day, we have 2 tournaments. We have an ARMS tournament and a Splatoon 2 tournament, which is very exciting because we really haven't seen a lot of ARMS. We've seen some gameplay, we've seen some character reveals, but we really haven't seen the game in action much. And we also get to see Splatoon 2, which for those of you who did not play the test fire, will be able to see some gameplay of that, which is really, really cool. And then the next day, ARMS is actually being released, so we can all pick up that game, test it out, and hopefully that game will be everything that we think it is. But without further ado, guys, let's start off with number 5. We are starting with probably the biggest mystery of Nintendo right now, and that is the future of the 3DS console. Now, will this console continue to be getting support? We've seen recent software being announced, such as Ever Oasis. We've seen a Monster Hunter game. We've seen Hey Pikmin, Miitopia. So there's definitely a lot of software and even hardware being announced as Nintendo drops probably the most random bomb ever, talking about the new 2DS XL console that will be releasing. So I think everyone's kind of curious about the future of the 3DS brand. And it's quite interesting because if you look at the E3 plans for this year, nowhere on the plans is the 3DS mentioned. So is Nintendo kind of just going to sneak some 3DS titles in? Are they going to not even talk about it at all? It's just all a big mystery right now. And I think that's why I put it on this list, because the top 5 things aren't a lot. So for this to be on the list, it's quite substantial. And I think a lot of people are just curious to see if Nintendo is going to continue to support this console. And with all the rumors about a Pokemon Stars game and a 2D Metroid game, it would be interesting to see if Nintendo makes separate ports for the 3DS to play these new games, or if Nintendo is just going to stop and kind of discontinue all software for the 3DS. So I think the 3DS and the future of the 3DS is one of the more interesting topics of this year's E3, and it's going to be interesting to see if anything new is announced or if Nintendo's just going to kind of shy away from this console. All going to be about probably what Nintendo has been the worst at doing in recent years, and that is going to be the third-party support for the Nintendo Switch. Now, we've already got kind of a glimpse of what's to come. We've heard about Skyrim. We've heard about NBA 2K18. So there's definitely bigger titles that are coming to the Switch. And I think that we're all kind of curious about what are some of the other third-party titles coming to the Switch. Are we going to get Call of Duty? Are we going to get Injustice? Are we going to get a lot of these games that are coming out on the bigger consoles? And I think third party is something that Nintendo fans don't really think of that much. You know, we're kind of selfish in the way that all we want is Nintendo games. All we want are the big Nintendo games. But third party prevents a few things from happening. It prevents a severe gaming drought, and it prevents casuals not being interested in the Nintendo Switch. Now, I think the third-party games are really, really important to mention because the Nintendo Switch introduces a brand new way to play. Imagine playing third-party games like an NBA game or a Madden game, and taking that on the go it's just a revolutionary idea. So I really think that third-party needs to be a major talking point in this conference. I know that they're going to focus on some of Nintendo's bigger games in this press conference, but I think third-party needs to make a big splash. We need to hear about Madden. We need to hear about NBA 2K. We need to hear about Call of Duty. Maybe Overwatch. We need to hear about some of these third-party games, because at the end of the day, the Nintendo Switch can't survive unless it has a big install base. We don't want it to be another Wii U console, and we don't want this to be Nintendo's last console. So I think third-party games are going to be a pretty interesting topic. There are still games that we're waiting for, like Yooka-Laylee. So I think the third-party is a big topic in E3, and I think a lot of Nintendo fans are interested to see exactly what games will be coming to the console. Probably the biggest wild card on this whole top 5, and that is going to be Virtual Console. Virtual Console has not really been talked about that much. We don't really even know when it's coming out or when it will be announced, and I think that E3 would be a pretty good time to announce that and even say, okay, Virtual Console will be up next week. It would be really exciting for fans to start buying games, and I think the biggest mystery is, will the Nintendo GameCube finally make an appearance in the Virtual Console? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say yes. I think we've heard some rumors about it. A lot of speculation about if GameCube will make it to the Virtual Console. I definitely think this will happen. And I think it's a very, very good opportunity to make the Switch a gaming console. I mean, a very competitive gaming console. Imagine Super Smash Bros. Melee on the Nintendo Switch. This console could possibly be Nintendo's most competitive console that they've released. You look at them already hosting ARMS and Splatoon tournaments. Well, put Melee on this thing and let's have some real fun. This console needs Virtual Console. It would be so awesome to be playing games like Super Mario 64 and Conker's Bad Fur Day and Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Mario Sunshine. The ability to be playing those games on the go still blows my mind. I don't know why Virtual Console has not been announced yet. I think we are overdue for this, and I'm hoping that they don't push this back even further. I think E3 would be a good time to release this. I don't think this would take away a lot of the hype from all of the other announcements that they're going to be making. But Virtual Console is my number 3 pick just because the amount of Nintendo fans that want this to happen is just incredible. Virtual Console, Nintendo, make it happen. Number 1 and 2, very interchangeable. But I think I'm going to say future titles is going to be number 2. Now, if you look at the plans that Nintendo released, they said that they're going to be focusing mostly on Super Mario Odyssey and games in 2017. When I saw that, I almost cried. I want Nintendo to be talking about the future. I want giant titles being teased. I want giant games and some of the Nintendo's best franchises being talked about. I don't care if they come out this year. I don't care if they come out next year. I just want to know Nintendo is working on big software games that people are going to want to play. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't know how Nintendo is going to do this going forward. I don't know if they're going to do these kind of micro presentations where they just, it's a spitfire of games that are going to come out, and maybe they have like 4 of those a year or something like that. E3 is a fantastic platform to create a ton of hype on these games. Imagine if a Metroid was coming out. Metroid has been talked about now for the past 2 weeks, and the talk of Metroid has really, really been going. And I feel like people think that Metroid is actually going to happen. It might happen, but seeing these plans, seeing the E3 plans that Nintendo released really, really puts that in doubt, because I really think that they're going to be focusing on Super Mario Odyssey and probably a few smaller titles, and that's it. Nintendo has to just come out of their skin. they have to talk about some of these bigger games, and they have to put their necks out there. They have to tell fans, they have to communicate to Nintendo fans, these are the big games that are coming out. Buy the Nintendo Switch, and these are the games that you have to look forward to. I think if they just focus on 2017, it's going to be a big mistake. People are already sold on Nintendo Switch. They are sold on the platform that Nintendo Switch has built. We all want to play Zelda. We all want to play Mario Kart. We're all going to be wanting to play Super Mario Odyssey. 2017 is already, what you wanted to do with 2017 is already accomplished. We need to start looking forward. We need to start getting more and more information on future titles to create even more hype for the system. So number 2, future titles. Nintendo fans want the most from E3 2017. We all want to see Super Mario Odyssey. We all want Super Mario Odyssey to be the best game we've ever played. Now, we can say we want Metroid. We can say we want an Animal Crossing game. We could say all of these plans, but really what we're all interested in seeing is Super Mario Odyssey. Is this game going to be great? How good is this game going to be? We've seen trailers. We've seen kind of what the story is going to be, kind of. I mean, Bowser's a pimp. we really don't know what this game is all about. This E3 is going to tell us. It's going to tell us what you can do with Mario, where you're going to be doing these things with Mario, and kind of what this game is trying to do. And it's actually really exciting. We're in a time right now where we don't know what the hell this game is. And in just a month's time, all of us are going to know how this game plays, how it's going to look. This is huge. We're going to get a reveal date. I think this is probably the most exciting E3 that I've ever been a part of, because Super Mario Odyssey is the game. We have not got a traditional 3D Mario since Super Mario Sunshine. So this is a giant, giant game for Nintendo. You're going to be seeing a ton of marketing for this game. You're going to be seeing Mario everywhere. 2017 from this point on belongs to Mario. You're going to be seeing so many things. If you thought the Target marketing scheme with Mario Kart 8 was giant, just wait till Super Mario Odyssey comes out. This is going to be the most selling game in Nintendo's history. I will say that right now. That's going to be the fastest selling game in Nintendo's history. And I think every single one of us, whether we talk about these crazy ideas of Metroid, these crazy ideas of F-Zero coming back, we all want Super Mario Odyssey to succeed. And without a doubt, 100% chance, we are all going to see what Super Mario Odyssey is all about, whether we like it or not. So number 1 goes to Super Mario Odyssey. It's going to be the biggest focus at this year's E3, and that's why it stands at number 1. So there you go, guys. That is my first top 5 video. I'll be doing plenty more of these, of course, on a bunch of different topics. And I hope you guys liked my choices. I want you to comment below if I missed anything, if you think I got this whole list wrong. Just let me know in the comments, guys. Like always, if you would like to see and hear more content from this channel, please hit subscribe and follow me on Twitter for even more updates. Thank you guys again. This is Patrick from Arwing Attack. I'll see you all later.